everyone. First, I would like to just say thank you all so much for coming out here on this joyous occasion. These last 5 years of marriage have been very kind to us.
And if everything goes our way, the coming years will be just as great.
I'm so happy to be back in Little Rock again. I've missed all my friends so terribly. Although, I can't say that I remember any of you. Honey, are these friends of yours?
Certainly not. Maybe one of your sisters invited me.
That does make sense. They're always looking for ways of introducing me to new people. Well, in that case, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm Lottie Thompson Clise.
And I'm Claude L Clise.
And I suppose it would be kind of rude not to tell a little about myself. I was born here in Woodruff County, Arkansas, where I grew up with my two sisters, Helen and Leah. We moved back to Little Rock when I was 3, and the 3 of us lived very happily.
Your sisters are an absolute gas. I can only imagine what they were like when they were younger.
Oh, I have stories, I can assure you. Why don't you join in on the fun?
Oh, I wouldn't want to put them to sleep. You go right on ahead.
But what am I supposed to say?
Don't be so modest. She spends more time doing community work than she does at home.
You are right about that. I'm a director at the Little Rock Orphans Home, where I spend most of my time with children in need. I will admit that I did have a husband before I met Claude. He was a good dentist, and an even better spouse. Our son Edward has the same charm. Unfortunately, he passed away of a serious illness when Edward was just a boy. Being the only one to look after him made me realize how hard his life would have been if there was no one there for him. So, I've dedicated most of my life to helping children in need, who have no one else to look after them.
She's a regular saint, if I do say so myself.
Oh, stop.
I've met nuns less modest. You should be proud of yourself. After all, I'm proud of you.
All right. Well, then how about you practice what you preach and have some pride in your own history?
What is there to say? I'm as captivating as a Delta soybean farm.
Please, Claude, it's our anniversary.
Well, I can't very well say no to that, can I? Believe it or not, I was just a farm boy for the first bit of my life. Grew up in Lansing, England, Michigan with my ma, my pa, and my brothers, Clyde and Harry. Once I had grown up, I decided I needed a change of scenery and moved out west for California. I ended up in Oakland, working for a dealership at the Chandler Motor Car Company, selling some of the finest automobiles this country has ever seen. They really were something else, you know? Traffic transmission for easier gear shifting at low speeds. A 6-cylinder engine strong enough to drive up Pikes Peak. I would own one myself, if the company hadn't been bought out last year. After Oakland, I ended up in Sacramento, doing what I do best, convincing other people I have what they need. And I suppose that's what attracted you to me. I still remember the first time I laid eyes on you. A lady of more grace and beauty I've never known. You were so sad, so lonely, so far from home. You thought the West Coast would do you some good. And I dare say it did.
You're making me all flustered.
As you wish. We lived together and saw each other for quite some time in Sacramento, and we were married at the very start of 1925. Confidentially, when I saw her walking up that aisle, it took everything I had not to shed a tear.
Are you sure you didn't?
Very funny. We lived together for 4 years happily in Sacramento, but then Lottie started getting homesick. So now, here we are. We have a lovely house on Gain Street, and more friends than we could ever ask for.
Well, if you'll please excuse us, we have to go socialize with some of our other guests. It was a pleasure to meet all of you.
Have a good evening, everyone.